Hey, the Fight Nerds takeover might be spoiled, but hey, it's your boy DHP, and y'all know the rest, man. But welcome into my UFC Paris, Nasruddin Imavov, KO Borralho preview show. I'm doing it way earlier than I normally do, but hey, we here. One more night of sleep, and then the fight night begins. Now, it's on at 3 p.m. Eastern, so we can't really call it a fight night, but we can say it's fight day. But anyway, yeah, like I said earlier in the video, in my intro, I ain't gonna hold you. I think, and I'm a huge fan of the Fight Nerds, but only one of them is gonna win, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. So before we get to the deep analysis, I'm gonna go over the card, and then we're gonna talk about the fight. So we got Nasruddin Imavov and KO Borralho as the main event. BSD versus Mauricio Rufy is a co-main. Madarastas Busakas versus Paul Craig. I want to break down that fight too. That's the third fight. Baholi Oki and Mason Jones. Then we got Axel Sola versus Reese McKee. And then we got William Gomez versus Robert Ricula. Now, Pitbull, my nigga Pitbull Patricio was on this card, but Lorene Kita, he missed weight. And you know what? The shit that's been going on like the past couple weeks, and you know, even now with Kita missing weight, I'm gonna have to readdress and make a whole nother video about weight cutting, because yeah, it's getting out of hand. I pretty much made a video on that with the Macy Barber situation when she had that seizure before the Aaron Blanchfield fight, but I guess I'm gonna have to readdress it. But anyway, that fight got canceled, and I think Lorene Kita has now been cut expeditiously. But back to the main topic at hand, the main course. Nasruddin Imavov and KO Borralho. I low-key been flip-flopping back and forth because I can see ways Nasruddin can win. I can see ways KO Borralho could win. But I think Nasruddin, he's going to beat KO Borralho. It's going to be like a 5-round decision. I came up with the conclusion just now. That's why I went ahead and I'm like, you know what? I made my decision. It's time to make the video. I got Nasruddin Imavov winning, beating KO Borralho in a 5-round decision. The reason why is that if you break down from category to category, striking, grappling, IQ, now KO Borralho, going to the striking department, KO Borralho, he's much more a technical striker than Nasruddin Imavov. Nasruddin is pretty much, he's not as sloppy as a DDP, but Nasruddin, he got a little like funkiness to him when it comes to his striking, and it's actually pretty slick. Go ask Izzy. But Nasruddin, as an overall fighter, KO Borralho, and I like KO, but he's low-key a one-dimensional fighter. Nasruddin is overall rounded, where I feel like if he can hang with KO Borralho on the feet, that would be good enough. But push comes to shove, Nasruddin could take this fight on the ground, and then what KO Borralho going to do? I don't believe that KO Borralho is good enough on the ground where, if he's on the bottom, you know, if he's playing bottom game, he's not, I don't think he has good enough jiu-jitsu and bottom game, and his bottom control game is not that good where he's going to make it easy, well, not easy, he's going to make it hard on Nasruddin to cut through the guard. Because you know how some people is like a T-City, or even though I don't like him, but Ryan Hall, somebody like them, or even Charlie Olives, because y'all see in the Topuria fight, Topuria, he didn't even want to go on the ground with Charlie Olives. But people like them, like you kind of, unless you like an Islam Makhachev, who you pretty much, or a Volk, where you know you're not afraid to go to the ground because your top game is crazy. A lot of people don't want to go on the ground with people like that. And KO Borralho, his jiu-jitsu and his bottom control game, I feel like it's not really that good enough to where if Nazaddeen get the fight to the ground, he's not going to threaten any submissions, or he's going to make it tough on Nazaddeen to cut through the guard and get to the position that he want to get, whether it's side control, top mount, or even try to put KO in a crucifix. You know, I think Nazaddeen would single-handedly, now I'm thinking about it, it'll be an easier fight for Nazaddeen to get the fight to the ground versus standing with KO. Because standing with KO, you want to give KO enough chance to try to put your lights out. But Nazaddeen, he do have tendencies on the feet which is why I said KO, he could potentially not beat the brakes off of Nazaddeen, but he could potentially like catch Nazaddeen and probably drop him. And he could get a finish off of that because KO do got some power on him. And if he catch you, he might put Nazaddeen to sleep or even finish the fight TKO style. But I just don't see KO on the ground being competent enough to give Nazaddeen problems. And I feel like Nazaddeen take this fight to the ground. If push comes to shove, he would just control KO from wherever round that they in, or whenever he do it, he's going to control him, you know. KO, he got to keep the fight standing. If Nazaddeen go to the ground, try to get the fight to the ground, or even try to grind him against the cage, he has his takedown defense and his clinch control got to be on one. It got to be on one and just keep the fight. That's all KO really got to do. If he can keep the fight standing from rounds 1 through 5, KO can actually beat Nazaddeen. But Nazaddeen, to me, is just overall well-rounded, where this, I just don't see it. I don't see how KO could win this fight with, especially because Nazaddeen ain't just going to keep the fight standing. If Nazaddeen catch you on the feet, that, you know, that's like really the cherry on the top. But Nazaddeen, he takes the fight wherever. He's not just going to sit there and just trade with you all the time. He will try to take you down, try to get you to the ground. He will try to grind you out against the cage, slow the fight down some. But just looking back, you know, all his fights, and then the Izzy fight, Nazaddeen is slick on the feet. He's very unorthodox and very slick. So, but overall, I wish it would be a Fighting Nerds takeover in Paris, but one of them is going to fall, and that's going to be KO Borralho, unfortunately. So I got Nazaddeen Imavov for the 5-round decision. More than likely got him going against Khamzat, because I think RDR, the winner of RDR and Fluffy, excuse me, the winner of RDR and Fluffy more than likely is going to get the winner of Khamzat, because I said a couple videos ago they might just do like the best performance. And they might still do that that way, because I did see something where I think they is comparing the fight, see who had the better performance. But I feel like with Nazaddeen winning, you got to give him a shot. So that's why I'm going to just go ahead and stamp it at, you know, if Nazaddeen gets through KO Borralho, he's going to get the shot. So, with that being said, Nazaddeen, 5-round decision. On to the co-main event, BSD and Mauricio Rufy. This right here, this going to be an easy fight. I alluded to it in the video I made 2 days ago. We're going to get to it now. This should be an easy fight for Mauricio Rufy. I expect Mauricio, because BSD is like, how can I put this into words? Because BSD, the skills is there, but he's just not, I don't know. I don't know what to say about BSD, because the skills are there. And I do like BSD, but there's something missing. There's something missing to BSD program that I feel like, you know, he's not all the way there. To me, he's low-key like, I mean, this is probably like the wrong example. It may be disrespectful, but he's like a poor man's version of Anento Moicano. That's what he really is. He's a poor man's version of Renato Moicano and Beneil Dariush. Because I feel he could do everything that them two can do, but for some reason, you know, certain situations and certain level competition, Renato and Beneil, they know how to rise to the occasion. BSD is like, for some odd reason, competition, the higher the competition get, you know, it's like he folds. And it really opened my eyes to, like, okay, Dustin Poirier, he did what he did against Dustin Poirier. That was a smart game plan against Dustin Poirier. Just, you know, BSD got caught. But the way he got his ass whooped against Renato Moicano, that really opened my eyes to, like, damn. Like, there's something going on with this nigga that he's, like the last time BSD fought in Paris, I think that was the Renato Moicano fight where he just beat the brakes off of him. I'm like, what the hell is going on with BSD? But there's something's missing. And obviously he got a dub back. He got a W back in the column. He got the dub back against a late last minute opponent, because my nigga Joel Alvarez, he got hurt. So the last minute opponent ended up replacing Joel Alvarez. So he got that dub back, right? But now we going against somebody in Mauricio Rufy, who, this nigga Mauricio Rufy, he a bad boy. I'm telling you, he is a bad boy. Now I do think somebody of a high level grappler will beat Mauricio Rufy. But BSD, he's not at that level of grappling yet where, yes, could he take down Mauricio Rufy and just control him? Or some, you know, Khabib shit, Islam shit, Renato Moicano shit? Yeah, but Mauricio Rufy is a different striker. BSD haven't even faced yet. Like, Mauricio, he's much more technical than BSD. He know how to use his range. He's very quick and fast. His movement, his footwork is crazy too. Like, yeah, we can talk about Dustin Poirier, but Mauricio Rufy is actually of a more, I think boxing wise, Dustin Poirier is a better boxer than Mauricio Rufy, but Mauricio Rufy, he's a way better kickboxer. And that's the thing that's going to fuck BSD up, is that Mauricio Rufy is not just a boxer like a Dustin Poirier. Mauricio is a crazy ass kickboxer that's going to come at him at different ranges and different angles, and he's very precise and technical. Like I said, this is going to be Mauricio Rufy's, like, easiest fight, because I can see this, like, really playing out on some what was a fight that trying to think of a fight where the grappler, he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't even get the fight to the ground. Oh, I mean, we could say Wonder Boy and Johnny Hendricks. We could say Wonder Boy and Johnny Hendricks. That was Johnny Hendricks. I mean, obviously Johnny Hendricks got way more knockouts, but Johnny Hendricks is a grappler, and Wonder Boy just pieced that boy up. But there's a lot of fights that we've seen where, you know, a striker went up against a grappler, and they just stopped everything. Everything that he wanted to do, they just stopped it, and they were just piecing them boys up. Mauricio, dare I say, Mauricio might get a second round. I ain't even gonna say first round, because he could get a first. Mauricio that good where he could get a first round. He could get a first round KO, but I'm gonna say second round KO. I'm gonna say second round KO, because he's going to just batter him up in the first round, and then he's going to catch him with something nice in the second round. But this is going to be Mauricio's easiest fight up to date, because although BSD got the overwhelming style to beat Mauricio, BSD is not the right guy for that. You know, I expect somebody like Charlie Olives, maybe, honestly, Topuria. Topuria got that style that BSD do. Just not... Topuria, he's more precise, though, so I can't really say that. But I think somebody like Islam would definitely beat Mauricio Rufy off the rip. But, yeah, Mauricio Rufy, he's gonna be the fight nerd that comes to the clutch and bring another dub to that faction. 1 out of 2. Yeah, 1 out of 2. Hey, like I said, I wish it could be an all-out fight nerds takeover, but I got one of them falling. But on to the third fight with what's his name? Matarostis. I can't pronounce these people's names, and y'all bear with me, but he going against my boy Paul Craig. Let me tell you something. Paul Craig, he's about to get whooped. Paul Craig actually got more as far as like the overall base. He's the overall best fighter, but Matarostis, his striking is just, it's like Mauricio Rufy. And it's crazy that these two, like, he's about to fight Paul Craig, and then you got Mauricio Rufy to fight above him in the co-main event. Mauricio Rufy and Matarostis, they got the best striking on the card. Like, hands down, these two got the best striking on the card. And it's very consequential that these two is like, Matarostis and Paul Craig is like the third fight, and you got the third fight down. What is this? 1, 2, yeah. So the fourth fight on the card, but like third fight down. That fight go on, and then you got the co-main event. So I that's dope, because I dubbed these two as the best strikers on this card. But he's gonna handle Paul Craig. He's gonna handle Paul Craig for sure. Then we got Borralho, Oki, and Mason Jones. This should be a good fight right here. Mason, we all know he beat Jeremy Stevens. Aki, I've seen a couple of his fights. I can see it, but there's a lot of things he gotta fix. There's some holes in his game where he gotta fix, and there's certain things in his striking where I feel like he gotta clean up. So with more fighting with each experience, he can get better and better. But I'm gonna take Mason Jones that one. Then we got Axel Sola and Reese McKee. This is Axel, I believe, is another Paris prospect, so I'm interested in seeing how he is. And then obviously we got William Gomez and Robert. I hope William win this fight, but I'm picking William Gomez just because I like him. But yeah, we got a long way to go before, because he genetically, he top 10 hands down, especially at featherweight. He can make some noise, but he got to fix his overall makeup. But yeah, man, Pitbull and Lorraine Keita, we want to touch on that in a different date and time. That's probably gonna maybe that might be, I might drop 2 videos, the weekend recap and then that video. But yeah, man, 1 out of 2 fight nerds. I wouldn't be surprised if KO Borralho do beat Nasruddin Imavov, because it's not really like all out stamp it, even though I said what I said, because KO can win this fight. But I just don't, if push comes to shove, Nasruddin gonna put KO Borralho in some positions that I don't think KO is really ready for just yet. And it might be a good thing that he gets exposed or introduced to this now, so that he can fix that, and come back to the table. Because I can tell you, if Nasruddin don't expose it, Kamzat would definitely expose it. That's for damn sure. But yeah, man, one more sleep, and then the fight night on, can't even say fight night, fight event on at 3 p.m. Eastern. So y'all hang on. This is my official preview show. So until the review show around like 7 o'clock, see y'all niggas later, man.